Hey Teaheads, this is Don from Mayleaf. You know, this year I've tasted nearly 100 Gusheng PUERHs from spring 2021, and we found some delicious teas. Some of them are still incoming. But there was one Maocha, which means one loose leaf sample, which I tasted, which stuck in my head as soon as I tasted it and ever since ordering it, and that's this tea here. This is the Potion Scholar. This Maocha was unlike any other PUERH tea that I tasted this year and in recent memory. It had something about it that was different, a character, a tribal character about it. And I'm hoping that that is going to translate in the tasting today. I'm going to taste this Potion Scholar for the first time. Let's quickly scope this tea. This is from April 2021. The cultivar is the Daiyezhong variety. The origin, this is from Meng Song. So Meng Song is a very famous area of Yunnan, close to Sichuan-Bana, and has very, very high elevation forests. It comes from Gushu tea trees, so 200 plus year old tea trees growing in Meng Song, and this tea has been produced by the Aini tribe. So Yunnan is made up of lots of ethnic minorities, and this tea has been made by the Aini tribe specifically according to their own, style of making tea. And it's interesting how you can sort of equate potentially tribes and ethnic groups to terroir as well. So it's not just the area, the climate, the altitude, etc., but also the tribe that is making the tea. The picking and processing, this can be a bud and up to 3 leaves. Elevation, as I said, very high elevation, 1,950 meters conservatively. So very high elevation tea. You can see the cover. We're going to talk about the cover a little bit as we move on and taste this tea. But as you can see, I really felt, and you can tell by the name, Potion Scholar, that this was a very unique tea, had a medicinal quality to it in terms of the effect and the taste, and also had a sort of scholastic feel to it. In other words, there was a certain skill in the production of it that could only come from generations and generations of learning. Let's open it up now. I'm so excited. I mean, I'm always excited to taste teas. As I said, though, the Maocha on this tea really was a different experience for me. You can see the color of the leaves here, beautiful sort of olive greens, amphibian greens, a nice mix of buds and larger leaves. We're gonna immediately get in here. Compression is good. Great, nice level, not too firm, not too loose, relatively easy to open up, but with enough firmness to allow it to have a low oxygen environment, making it suitable, of course, for aging. And I do think this tea is going to be a contender for it. If it's a great tea now, and I hope it is, it's going to be something off the charts as it gets older. Right, let's put that away and get our spare cake here so we can admire the artwork, obviously done by Celine as usual. The rabbit checking out the tribal recipe for making this potion. Opens up lovely. Okay, let's put that to the side. Let's get our blue guy one in here. It's been a while since I've brewed in this baby. So, heat this guy one up. And I'm expecting this session to be a pretty interesting and potent session given my experience of the Maocha, but you never know. You never know how things are going to be, and hope. You always have that. I always have these butterflies in my stomach when I reach this point. The cameras are turned on. Let's see if this tea is as unique as I recall. Not going to measure, as always, just load a bowl. That looks about right. I'll put that away as well. Okay, here we go. Smell of the dry leaf, Potion Scholar. just starting to warm up. The profile is going to be very, very difficult for me to describe, I think, because there's a lot going on and the different things are very diverse. So I'm going to try and pick it apart, but probably check out my tasting notes online for a more considered version of these tasting notes. Oh, it's very difficult. Okay, I'm getting some dried mint. I'm getting mint humbugs. So caramel, toffee, and mint. I'm getting some very bright, bracing, refreshing, awakening note. It's a little bit moving in the apple cider vinegar kombucha territory, but it's very restrained. I'm getting honeys, deep medicinal honeys. I'm getting nuts. I'm getting salted pistachio nuts. I'm getting syrups like, it reminds me of baklava, like a pistachio baklava. There's something very overwhelmingly sweet and sticky about the aroma. It's a flower, but it's very dense and it's very deep. My instinct is to say lily, but it's even deeper than that. It's like a concentrated version of a lily fragrance. It's intense, it's sweet, to the point of being almost too much and overwhelming. It's a very overwhelming aroma, and I think that might be a theme that we repeat during this video. Quick rinse. Let the frog get in on the action. I'm very excited to smell these wet leaves. The look of the leaves as well. Look, they've got that dark quality to it. There's something about the production of this leaf, this tea, I think that I noted in the Maucha. It's different. There's something different in the way that they produce this tea, or it might be the tea trees or the area, but the whole terroir has resulted in a tea which looks different, as well as the experience that it gave me when I tasted the sample. Oh, so perfumed. There's my mind is racing because there's so many things I want to say. So first of all, there is a fruit note to it. I'm going to say very fresh apricots, but there's also incense note to it. Oh, wow, it is immense, the smell. Oh, it's just incredible. Spices, incense, I'm getting not sandalwood, what is it? Cedarwood, vanilla. Again, some of that dried mint. There's a bit of fenugreek and sort of curry leaf, but don't let that put you off. It sort of strangely works with it. The spices are incredible. There's a distinct, that very rich floral smell that I was talking about earlier has moved into, it's still there, but I'm also getting a really rich, again, almost overwhelming, almost too much fruit note, but it's like overripe pears, like pears that have fallen to the ground, not rotten, but very, very ripe. A rich, sweet, like blackcurrant syrup or cooked down blackcurrant, so that kombucha acidity has moved into this grenadine or blackcurrant syrup. Very, very sweet, very, very rich, very, very concentrated. I'm also getting a slight anise quality to it, like fennel seeds. Oh, there's so much going on there. it almost takes your breath away. It's so extreme in terms of its aromatics. It's immense, an immense tea, a powerful, powerful aroma in the dry and the wet leaf. But that wet leaf is, it's almost an assault on your nose. It's just so extreme. You almost want to sort of take it in, like in layers, just move in slowly. Oh yeah, I'm getting a creamy note to it. It reminds me of mastic ice cream. Yeah, so it's resinous. That incense is there. Ylang ylang, lilies. I mean, it's just so much going on. Oh, so much going on. Okay, let's have a sniff. Oh, sorry, let's have our first brew. And I'm going to be brewing short infusions here. It's at boiling point. Might be worth going a bit cooler. In fact, I'm just going to take the temperature down a little bit. I can tell with the potency of this smell that you might want to be a little bit more refrained in the way that you brew. I'm going to do a 20-second infusion and we'll see how it reacts. My memory of the Malcha is that it's very mineral heavy, this tea. All right, let's go with this. We'll pour it into the glass Gondabe so you can get a look of the first color, first infusion liquor color, although it's probably not going to be, it's going to get darker than this, of course. Oh, there's something else. It's one of those smells that you're going to continuously be going back to because you're going to feel like you're missing some of the notes, and I'm sure that they will reveal themselves over time. Okay, cheers everybody. Potion Scholar, here we go. Just give me a sec. Oh. Right, texture, medium, not a thick syrupy tea. If you're looking for a thick syrupy tea, this is not for you. If you're looking for something that is mineral, in your face, like the minerality is like a wave. It just comes at you with this like it's incredibly active, a very active tea, a very physical tea all over the mouth. It just feels like medium, refreshing, quenching, mineral, almost crunchy in its minerality. It is extreme, and it pulls and it zings, and it gives a little fresh pockets on the sides of the tongue. You get this sort of saliva, immediate saliva release that goes on with this tea. It's like a force. It's like this mineral wave that just hits you. Instead of it being sort of punchy and aggressive in a sort of impact, sort of like pockets of areas of your tongue being hit, it's like this unstoppable force of minerality just flooding your mouth, down your throat, and you're getting an immense amount of juiciness, an immense amount of saliva production. The mouth is just reacting to this tea. Flavor is going to be very difficult for me to describe to you because it's a tea which is gonna, I think, reveal it over infusions. And I might just make this video slightly different. I might just go through 7-8 infusions with you, just sort of doing a bit more jump cuts, because I feel like that's the way that it's going to progress. But let me give you my first feel. I'm getting those apricots, fresh apricots. I'm getting flowers, lilies, jasmines, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a floral tea. I wouldn't say it's a sweet tea. I wouldn't even say it's a fruity tea. It is a mineral tea that after you've swallowed, all of these little notes reveal themselves. But whilst the tea is in your mouth, it's all about that physical experience. I'm getting some of that baklava. I'm getting some of that flaky phyllo pastry and syrup and medicinal honeys. Let's move this out of the way. I'm getting a zestiness as well, that refreshing note. A light mandarin zest. So imagine mandarin zest and jasmine flowers. Imagine a mineral. How do you describe that taste? It's a very difficult thing to describe, and I'm always struggling. It's more of a sensation, a mineral brightness, a mineral stoniness with lilies and with apricots. I am going to do another infusion quite quickly. And you may see now me jump cutting a little bit, because I feel that this tea needs me to sort of uncover it in layers. There is a bitterness to this tea. The bitterness is, at the moment, extremely light, but you get the feeling that so now I'm at 95-degree water, so about 205 Fahrenheit. You feel like you crank up the temperature too much or you brew too long, it's going to come get you. It's going to come get you. And that bitterness is like a cocktail, like herbal bitterness. I don't know how to pronounce it. Gentian, so the classic flower used for a lot of these botanical bitters that you mix in cocktails and drinks. I am starting to feel activity in my stomach, activity in my head, but I will talk to you about that a little bit later. All right, second infusion. Move my little frog. Yep. Controlled brews, short brews. This is a tea that you need to keep your eye on. It's like a wild horse. It will go. It'll be too much if you overbrew this tea. It is super potent. Little warmer note developing. That baklava note is definitely more accentuated. Savory as well, slight saline note, like a briny, slightly sort of olive. If you've had a dirty martini with that olive brine, very, very light, but it's there, and it fleshes out the body of the tea. It gives a roundness and a thickness to the body that is then contrasted with this forceful mineral, stony. Oh, I love that. I love the feeling that it's giving me on my mouth. This is ultimate physicality, this tea. Oh, and the finish. The finish is now starting to build up. Hard. Because it's so intense with that physicality, you almost need to stop, wait a while, let that die down to get the finish to reveal itself. It's sweet. It's not sugar. Well, yeah. It's sweet, like a little bit sugary, but it reminds me again of like herbal liqueurs, or like Fernet Branca or absinthe, or those kinds of things. Absinthe, Jägermeister, Fernet Branca. It's very adult, very, very adult in terms of its sweetness at the end. It's got that mix of botanical in there as well. Immense physicality. I'll keep rolling through infusions. Color of liquor on the fourth infusion is, you know, darker than the first. A beautiful, like buttercup yellow gold. The feeling in my mouth is like ultimate physicality. If you like a pu'er that is gonna come play, is gonna really, you know, give you that oomph and that I wouldn't say aggressive, but that forceful nature and character, then this one is certainly for you. If you're looking for a syrupy, sweet, soft, Iwu style pu'er, do not get this tea. If you are looking for a pu'er that is just coming at you with character and flavor, which unfolds, and a physical nature that is undeniable, then this one is certainly for you. It's like walking in, it's like on the one hand walking into a head shop, so incense and, you know, oils and resins, but then there's also a baklava bakery there, so sweet, syrupy, and pastries and nuts, and then also, you know, walking into a herbal dispensary or like a tea shop with lots of different dried herbs, yeah, like mint and fennel, anise, although it's not so strong on the anise, it's more fennel and a bit of that fenugreek. Wow. I'm going to get to the end of this and I'm going to smell that empty gong da bei. I'm already feeling it, but I'm going to smell the empty gong da bei, drink some more, and then give you my feeling on how it's affecting my body. But already I can't speak, which is generally a good sign, if you know what I mean. It's just intense. It's just an intense tea, and yet very refined. It's not just sort of like all over the place, you know, aggression. It's refined intensity. Oof. Potent. That wave of minerality just does not stop. And the finish in the mouth, once you get past all of this pulling and zingy and juicy, you're left with like apricots and sponge, like a sponge, steamed sponge. It's almost got like a little bit of a bicarb of soda rising agent for like pancakes or sponges. So there's that lovely fruity and spongy and slightly savory, and then a load of lilies and jasmine right at the end, and that will persist, I'm sure. Okay, let's have a smell of this empty gong da bei. Ooh, intense body sensation. Oh, lovely smell. Nougat. The baklavas have turned into nougat, although you could say baklava, but you know, nougat, so pistachio, almond, nougat, and again, intensely deep, sweet lilies. Maybe that's the wrong flower, but a very sweet, deep, dense floral aroma. a muskiness to it as well, like a little intrigue, a little animal note to it, but very light, but there in the background, something different. Let me roll through a couple more infusions. I'll come back with body sensation. 7th infusion. Body sensation on this is intense. It's some teas you sort of feel like they have a very downward energy. You know, they're very good with digestion. Some teas you feel like you've got this rising, effervescent, evaporating quality in the body. This one is just all body. My hands are tingling. I don't often get that sensation apart from very, very strong teas like Lao Banjiang teas. My hands, my feet, my whole body is vibrating and tingling. I'm very clear. Everything feels very, very clear. Not woozy at all. Very, very clear, but buzzy, tingly. And not in a rushy particular way. Of course, it is energetic, but it's not like this overflowing feeling. It just feels like it's bedded in to the body like a medicine. It just feels like, I feel like I've got like, I've done Qigong, you know, and you've got this feeling of energy in your body. It's intense. I love it. It feels like very sort of like enlivening, moving, tingly. What else to say about this tea? The taste in my mouth. Let it settle. Don't go through the session necessarily as quickly as this one, although it's an experience. Sweet when it settles. Honeysuckles, jasmines. Really lovely, lovely aftertaste. In fact, I would say, you know, out of the experience, do not, as I said before, this is not a tea for somebody who wants a sweet, smooth, easy drinking iwu, or like a nice, you know, zesty, bright, you know, I don't know, flowery tea from further up north. This has an immense aroma on the dry, an even bigger aroma on the wet. It's got such physicality and it's got an amazing aftertaste and body sensation. The taste of this tea is one that just sort of is more subtle. It's like you got to go find it. It's like you're a little bit in the dark and you've just got a flashlight and oh, there's a bit of apricot. Oh, there's a bit of honeysuckle, or oh, there's a bit of those baklavas. It's sort of, they just sort of peek out, because you've got such an immense amount of physical minerality that it's sort of, you've got to like let them come, you know, or you've got to go find them. It's not something which is just a classic character of, oh, that tastes like, I don't know, oranges and cream. This tea is a tea, well, I don't like to say that teas are not suited to beginners, or, you know, are more suited to experienced tea drinkers, because in my history of introducing people to tea, what I've noted is that you'd be very surprised about which teas beginners or people getting into tea would love, and some of the preconceptions don't apply. But I would say it's probably true to say that out of all the people that will love this tea, the majority would be people who have been around the block a few times with raw pu'ers. They've sampled the, you know, the sweet, the sweet syrupy iwus. They've sampled the mineral, citrusy notes of, you know, a dahe-shan. And then they try this, and there's something that captures them because of its unique character. Because this is a forceful tea. This is a tea which demands to be noticed. This is a tea that if you had in your cupboard, when you open your cupboard of raw pu'ers, it would always be looking at you like, you ready for a session with me? You know, it would always be this temptation. And that's what I remember from the Mao Cha. it's stuck in my head, it's stuck in my memory as a very unique tea with a really, really unique character. And I don't know if that's to do, well, it's going to be a combination of the area, but also the tribe and the way that they produce this potion scholar. And you can see here, this learned rabbit, you know, with all of the different potions and concoctions behind, as he or she learns the ways of this tribal medicine. And I would say this tastes very much like a potion. You know, this is sort of like you open your cupboard and it's like this little question: are you ready to make your medicine now? The Potion Scholar. A very unique tea, not for everyone, but if it's for you, it really is for you, and I adore it. Hope you like it too. Let me know your thoughts. That's it, Teaheads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you're in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the mind-blowing stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.